What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video and welcome to my trophy list review series. In this series you submit a trophy list for review and it faces the scrutiny of this guy of L Platinum Bro. I take a look at the games you've been playing, the trophies you've been earning, and of course the trophies you haven't been earning, and I answer the question as to whether I think you're a good or a great trophy hunter. I then give you a very biased, very arbitrary score out of 10, and I also answer another question, which is, do I think you're a better trophy hunter than this guy? And as of today, the first episode that will involve it, we're now going to be seeing whether or not you earn a place on the Trophy Hunter Hall of Fame.
Oh yeah!
That's right, there's going to be a new little end leaderboard that we're going to be having on the sort of series, where if you reach a total score, you will earn a place on the Trophy Hunter leaderboard forever, in theory. Nonetheless, let's go on to PSN profiles and we'll have a look at today's contender. Okay guys, so here we are on PSN profiles, and here we have today's contender, who is Tibi Costi, one of my patrons, so thank you for that, dude. And we're going to be digging into his trophy list all the way from Romania in Europe. We aren't part of that anymore, sadly. But anyways, let's move on to the actual details of the trophies. Just playing games and hunting trophies, that's not a bad little motto, straight to the point. Playing games is there first and then hunting trophies second. That tells me that playing the games is the most important thing. Trophies come second. That is the best way to collect trophies, in my opinion. Moving on. So level 381, I have to say it, you can see it, I don't really care. But anyway, I'm actually quite excited, guys. I feel a bit more elevated now. As soon as I see someone else's trophy list, I get to talk about some games. Just me and you guys, it's good, this is good. So, 92 platinums, not bad. 488 golds, 854 silvers, a lot of bronzes, 2,000-ish, blah. Country rank 53 in Romania. Damn, that's pretty badass, to be fair. World rank 72,000. Trophies per day 2.7. Completion 82%. Ooh, good trophy, good completion to have. Anything more than 80%, in my opinion, is good trophy hunting. It's good going. You're definitely completing most of your games, and as we can see, 114 games played, 70 games completed. And as you can see, I've arranged it in alphabetical order, as I always do. And to start things off, we are seeing the trophy hunting game, the game that you see when you know someone's a trophy hunter, and that is 36 Fragments of Midnight. Only one stack, so it's not too bad. You know, you can do this on Vita. I think it's like 6, maybe 8 stacks for this game, but it's definitely one of those easy games. It took you 2 weeks to do it. You must have not liked it and left it, because it's a 30-minute platinum. So I've been there with some of those easy games where you just think, I cannot be bothered to play this, and I'll leave it. I don't normally leave it for 2 weeks and 3 days, I normally leave it for like a day. But still, an easy game to see. We've then got Plague Tale Innocence. Now, I haven't played this game personally. I've heard some really good things, that it's a really good linear story-driven game that you can platinum in about 20 hours, 2 playthroughs. I think there's a few like collectibles you have to earn to do with like crafting items and things like that. We then got Adam's Venture Origins, which I've said many times is the poor man's Uncharted in every single way. If you can imagine an Uncharted game with no combat, just puzzle solving and really low budget, that's kind of Adam's Venture, but it's a 4-hour platinum, so no. We then have our first ultra rare trophy, which is the Amnesia Collection. Now, it's actually taken me about 4 times to say that word, so I'm probably not going to say it again. But let's have a little bit of a look into the game. There's one trophy that you're missing. I'd like to know what it is. It must be DLC. Well, my name is Daniel and I have made life exceptionally hard for myself. Right, interesting. So it's an ultra rare trophy. Do we know why? Is there a guide on here? And it is only 3 out of 10. How unusual. Why is it such a rare trophy? Well, you guys, you know, when I see a really low difficulty game which is ultra rare, I add it to my list of games that I am going to play. But nonetheless. Okay, now I'm looking at quite a few Assassin's Creeds. We've got Valhalla, Revelations, Origins, Odyssey, Remastered, 3 Remastered, War 2 and Brotherhood. You've clearly bought the Assassin's Creed Ezio Collection, which I think is the easier way of earning the Platinum Trophy for the Brotherhood and Revelations, but you know, I'm not going to criticise it too much. You know, open world games, if you like your Ubisoft, there's nothing wrong with that. Odyssey's, Origins and Valhalla are all meant to be, you know, good enough games. And Valhalla's been done, and I'm pretty sure that's a 100-hour platinum, if not longer. Is it an ultra rare trophy? No, it was an ultra rare trophy at one point, though. I think obviously as more players are achieving it, it's losing its ultra rare status. But nonetheless, at least you're finishing a lot of those games. You've left Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered, which is a shame, and You've also left Revelations 2 years. You could definitely clean that up straight away. Those 2 games would just bump up your percentage. Like you haven't played that many games. You've played 100 games on this account, so every single 100% you get it'll probably be bumping your completion up by like half a percentage. So I would already encourage you to finish those games off. You've got this skill. You've shown you've got the durability to handle Assassin's Creed games. So I'd encourage you to go back and finish those. We've then got Batman, the Telltale's done, and then the second one done. They're easy games, guys. If you haven't heard of them, they're literally just 10-hour like walking simulator games with a few choices thrown in there. They're okay. They tell pretty good stories, but they're not hard. That's ultimately the issue with them. And there's no choice in them. It's the illusion of choice for a lot of the time. We've then got Bioshock 2 Infinite and Bioshock Remastered, all platinumed. Well done. They aren't the easiest of games. They're not really hard, but they're like 4 or 5 out of 10s. Bioshock is the series I just feel like I've really missed out on. Like when I was younger, I think I didn't really start playing these like big games until I was like 16, 17. And I think by that point, maybe Bioshock had already come out or it was out and it didn't really appeal to me. I feel like this is one of the games last generation that I regret not playing. And I say that to you now and I still haven't got around to playing it. It's downloaded on my account. It's just getting around to it. But nonetheless, is it the DLC? You must be DLC. But the DLC is all included, is it not? So I don't understand. It's just a challenge room. So maybe that's something to strive towards, dude. We've then got Bounty Bullets, which again is another easy platinum, as you can see. Call of Duty Modern Warfare platinum, but not 100%, which is a shame. I'm pretty sure I haven't done it myself, but the DLC is only like it's like a 5 to 6 hour grind with a team. So if you can get a team together, then you can earn that 100%, and I love to see the 100%. I think it's just as impressive as the platinums. We then got Modern Warfare 2 Remastered, started, not finished. Obviously, for some reason you haven't played it. We've then got Chickens on the Road, which is done, and we've also then got Concrete Genie. You did the same as me. Played Concrete Genie just before it came out on PS Plus. So it's out on PS Plus free, and I played it in January and you played it in December. And you haven't done the VR stuff, which clearly you mustn't have a VR, which is a shame. It's not worth buying a VR for, to be honest. It's literally like 1 hour of just like a little basic paint mode. If you have a VR, it's good to clean up though. We then got Control as well. I don't think it's too difficult. I think it's kind of like standard AAA single player linear game. In terms of the fact that, in terms of trophy lists. So, you know, it's 4 out of 10, 5 out of 10. I'm going to check because I feel like I might just be spinning a load of garbage at this point. Okay, so yeah, it's a 4 out of 10 platinum difficulty and a 15 hours. So yeah, it's not too difficult. It's a game I want to play, and it's also a game that's currently free on PS Plus as of this month. So if you haven't downloaded it, get it downloaded. I'm going to wait until I get my PS5 and I'm going to play it that way. However, download it now. You can download it using the PlayStation app for PS5. You can do it with all PlayStation 5 games, so just bear that in mind. Then got Days Gone. Not a bad game. It's a 40-hour platinum. It's actually a good game. It's good enough. It's probably one of the weaker AAA, no? It's probably one of the weaker first-party Sony games. But that's like saying it's the worst burger in a Michelin star restaurant, I suppose. It's the worst menu food on a Michelin star restaurant. So I think because I played it twice really in quick succession, I didn't enjoy it as much. I think I had my opinion of the game devalued because the New Game Plus trophies and the Challenge Mode trophies I found pretty difficult. We then got Death Stranding, started, not finished. A game that's really on my list to play. This is the thing about these trophy lists, guys. Whenever you look through games that other people are playing, it just highlights the games that you wish you could play. And Death Stranding is definitely one of those games that I know I need to play. It might be on my list for this year. Once I finish Bloodborne, I need to have a good think as to what my next game is going to be. It might be One Punch Man, or it might be a big game as well. It could be Death Stranding. Who knows? We then got Detroit Become Human. Now this is a good story-driven game, and you know, you make choices. It's like a walking simulator, like Heavy Rain, same developers. Now this is the difference between this and Telltale. This game actually gives you choices. Your main characters can die, and the story goes on. I think that's phenomenal that can actually happen. We then got Drowning, which is this game about depression, which actually, to be fair, even though it's an easy 30-minute platinum, it does tell like this quite an interesting story. Even though it's just like a walking simulator, you just walk straight. But it touches quite deeply on depression, so it's interesting to say the least. We then got Energy Cycle, Energy Invasion, both easy platinums. Haven't done them myself, can't really be bothered, but maybe at some point. Erica is another story-driven game, but it's quite repetitive, and the platinum trophy takes like 6 playthroughs. So that was free. Am I going to play it? Meh, probably not. We then got Fall Guys Ultimate Knockout, hardest platinum trophy of 2020, in my opinion. So I will not be expecting the platinum trophy on this one, but also if you've tried it, you've enjoyed it. Like, you know, it was meant to be a really good game. You know, for some people, it was people's game of 2020 because it was just so fun, so lighthearted. And sometimes I say, like, you know, the games I always choose for my top games of the year are like these games with really in-depth stories of like loss and pain. And sometimes a game can come out there and it can just be fun. And if it's just fun, that can be good enough to win Game of the Year, and I totally get that. We then got a couple of Far Cry games, Primal, Far Cry 5 and Far Cry New Dawn. Only Primal's platinumed. I only have Far Cry 3 Remastered and Far Cry Primal done. Both of them are really grindy. Far Cry Primal for me wasn't very good. I think it was just open world and it was just so grindy and the combat was so basic and just, I wouldn't recommend that game. I think it's because obviously they take a step away from the guns. They tried something different, so props to them for that, but you know, playing a 10,000 BC with a spear, not really gonna have the same magic that Far Cry did, and I say magic, I say doesn't really fit the formula as well. Then got Full Blast, which is another easy platinum. Game of Thrones Telltale, in my opinion, that is the best Telltale story. I just think it was amazing. I just loved it. I just loved the choices you could make. That one actually had just choices that actually affected the end episodes. Like, there was some big decisions that you could make that affected the game outcome massively. Well, it didn't. It did a little bit. I'll say it did. But if you could only play one Telltale game, I would definitely recommend you play Game of Thrones. We then got Ghost of Tsushima done. Look at that rarity of Platinum Trophy of Ghost of Tsushima. 50% of players have the Platinum Trophy for Ghost of Tsushima. That is absolutely insane. It just shows how easy the game is. But also, it's like one of those games like Spider-Man. These AAA games, these big first-party Sony games that are so good and the trophy list is so easy, it just welcomes new gamers in. So if you're watching this video and the first Platinum Trophy you had was Ghost of Tsushima, welcome to the group, welcome to the community. We've then got God of War and God of War 3 Remastered. Both good games. I haven't played God of War Remastered. I want to play them all on PlayStation now. It's in my backlog of things I want to do, but you know, it's finding the time to play these games, guys. We then got Hebroxia, which is a brand new like shooter game, another easy platinum. Haven't done it myself. Maybe eventually at some point. There's just so many easy games that come out every month. There's probably like 10 to 15 every month, if not more. You're probably getting 10 new games come out every month, which is an easy platinum, but each of them has 2 to 3 to 4 stacks. It's just crazy at this point. We then got Heavy Rain, another story-driven game like Detroit Become Human, and a really good game, as good in my opinion. We then got Hellblade's Senua's Sacrifice, should I say. I really liked this game. I thought it was really good. It told a really dark story about Senua as she went through this journey through hell. It was really interesting. It's a really good lore. It was dark, man. Dark. Creepy at times as well. We then got Horizon Zero Dawn Platinum, no DLC, no New Game Plus, which is a shame. Such a shame. But I understand. I didn't think it was a good game. It was a good game. The second playthrough was rough, especially when you just finish it and you have to do it again. We then got Immortal Phoenix Rising. Now this is a game I actually really want to play. I know I bash Ubisoft quite a lot. I think what they've done with Immortal Phoenix Rising is so interesting. And it looks just like it's going to cap. It just looks great. It just looks really good. And I really want to play it. But I'm waiting until I get my PS5. I've currently got a ban on buying new games, guys. Other than buying the old cheeky, grubby plat from time to time, I'm not buying any AAA or AA games. Because I want to play them on my PlayStation 5. I want to get Immortal Phoenix, Ghost of Tsushima. I want to get... what else do I want to get? Demon's Souls and Spider-Man Ultimate Edition. Yes, Ghost of Tsushima is a PS4 game. However, I would want to play it on my PS5 because it's been upgraded to 60 FPS on PS5, which is a big deal. If you don't know anything about FPS, 60 frames per second is such a big deal. And I've also bought my new gaming monitor. It's 144 Hz. So in a couple of months' time, maybe a year's time, when the PS5 games start coming out properly, when they're running at 120 FPS, most 4K TVs can't do that, whereas my new monitor can, which is why I bought it. I cannot wait for 120 FPS. Oh, it's going to be so good. We then got Infamous First Light and Infamous Second Son. Both good games, easy plats. We'll just move on from them. If you haven't played them, you haven't heard of them, you should play them. I wouldn't recommend Infamous 1 and 2 for trophy hunters. People say like, oh, which game should I play? I've seen that being thrown around. I didn't play Infamous 1 or 2, and I don't feel like I've lost anything in terms of the story. Infamous Second Son totally stands by itself, and First Light is a prequel to Infamous Second Son, so I just want a return of Infamous, to be honest. I'd like them to bring it back. Sucker Punch, bring it back. Then got Injustice, God Among Us. That's a really hard platinum, like 0.16% rarity. Now that is, yeah, if someone has Injustice 1 or 2, I am, wow, I'm impressed. We then got Explosion, Jack and Jill, both easy plats. Journey done. Okay, Kingdom Hearts 3 done. Now, the thing about Kingdom Hearts is it's only 20% rare, but it's one hell of a commitment. Let's have a little bit of a deep dive into this. So let's have a look-see. Okay, so it's 60 hours, 4 out of 10 difficulty. Now some people might say that's nothing. I know in this current state of what's going on, there's loads of people on furlough who have all this free time. Lots of people who just are off school and stuff, they have time to bash out a 60-hour game. But me personally, 60 hours is a big game for me. Like I only fit in 15 to 20 hours a week max at the moment. So, you know, 60 hours to me, it's like that's pretty much one entire month's worth of gaming. So it's a big commitment. I feel like as you get older, you get busier, you have less free time, you kind of don't want to be playing that many longer games. I feel like I'm more than happy to have a 15-hour experience like Uncharted Lost Legacy or maybe like A Plague Tale's Innocence, then have this massive enthralling open world game which takes you months and months to finish. We then got Late Shift, Lego Night Ninjago, and Life is Strange 1 and 2, and Before the Storm. Now I'm going to leave Late Shift and Lego Ninjago because I don't have much to say on those. I've heard really good things about the entire Life is Strange series. I got Life is Strange and Life is Strange Before the Storm up there. I'm yet to play them. Again, backlog problems. Life is Strange 2 obviously is a sequel, so you can't play that unless you play the first two. We then got Little Adventure on the Prairie and Maneater, easy plats. We then got Spider-Man, no DLC, no New Game Plus. We then got Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Now you can see again, looking at both of those games, how unrare the Platinum Trophies are. Spider-Man has a 46.8% common trophy for its Platinum Trophy, and Miles Morales has a 50.86%, which is actually higher than Ghost of Tsushima, I think. It's crazy to think how easy these games are. I think Miles Morales actually has a New Game Plus option to play as well, but it's apparently really short, like 8 to 10 hours. I haven't played it yet, guys, because I'm waiting for that sweet PS5. It's going to be the first game I play on PS5. I'm going to stream it as well, so if you want to watch it, let me know. If you want to watch me play Miles Morales, let me know down below. If you want to watch me totally fan out about it, then let me know, because I will share it with you guys if that's something you want to see. We then got Metro Redux Last Light 2033, and then we've got Metro Exodus. I've heard really good things about Metro Exodus. I've heard like the new like semi-open world elements about it is apparently really good, to the point where I really want to play Metro 2033 and Metro Last Light. So they're sort of like these grungy, like it's based on the subways and stuff in the metro, and it's about like you play this character in this post-apocalyptic world with monsters and like mutants and stuff, and that was really interesting. I'd like to know how scary it is though. It's a bit too freaky. Could I handle it? I don't know. We then got Shadow of War and Shadow of Mordor Not Done. Both really, really good games. I think what they brought in with the Nemesis system is really cool. What isn't cool is the fact they've patented the Nemesis system, so no other companies can make it. I'm against that, because I think if you bring in a really good idea for the gaming world, other people should be allowed to replicate it as well, because clearly they're not even working on another Middle-earth game, because they can't, because Shadow of War sort of ends it. So they've patented this idea and then they're not even going to use it, which I think really sucks. We then got Midnight Deluxe, which is again another easy platinum, like the first one we saw. Murdered Soul Suspect, it's a shortish game, 5 hours. I haven't got it myself. Again, I actually bought it for about £1. It's on my backlog. Surprising. We then got My Name is Mayo 1 and 2, the meme games of Trophy Hunters, the games every Trophy Hunter should have because it's funny. And My Name is Mayo 2 is actually really funny. They know that, like, what the game is. They know it's a £1 easy platinum trophy, and they let you know all the time. They just take the mick out of themselves. They just really take the piss out of themselves, and I love them for it. We then got Need for Speed Payback. I don't like racing games. Peasant Night, easy plat. Ratchet & Clank, done. Oh, Red Dead, so close, man. 1 trophy away from the platinum. I can't believe this. What is it? Look at that 2.2% ultra trophy you could have. What trophy are you missing? Ah, the 70 gold medals. So close, dude. I hope you're working on it right now. I think you might be. I mean, you might have told me that. Nonetheless, keep persevering. That platinum trophy alone will probably bump your score up, in my opinion, overall rank. It's a shame that I've reviewed it today. If I'd waited a couple more weeks, maybe I would have seen you have that platinum trophy. Then got Resident Evil 2, Resident Evil 3, both done, easy games. Resident Evil 2, the DLC is quite challenging, but that hasn't been finished. Same with Resident Evil Biohazard, the DLC, sorry, is actually quite difficult as well. The best 3 Resident Evil games, in my opinion, are those 3 games there. So, interesting. You haven't played 5 or 6, which is just saving yourself, don't play them, dude. We then got Rise of the Tomb Raider and Road Bustle again. Road Rage, which I think it's an easy platinum. I remember it coming out a long time ago. I haven't really played it. I don't know too much about that one. We then got Shadow of Tomb Raider, Sea of Solitude, and Sherlock Holmes, The Devil's Daughter. Okay, it's crazy when you look at Shadow of Tomb Raider and The Platinum Trophy still only has the completion at 47%. That is just crazy. We then got Spyro 1, 2 and 3 done, and Slide 18-second Platinum. That's another one of those meme games which shows you a trophy hunter through and through if you get this trophy, this Platinum Trophy list. Spyro 1, 2 and 3, good games, good remastered. In my opinion, they're better than the Crash Bandicoot remastered. I think Spyro 3 is really good. It's probably the best one. I just think they keep building on it. I think Ripto's the best enemy, the best villain. But Spyro 1's a bit basic, Spyro 2 and 3 just keep getting better. Spyro 3's got the new characters, it's got like the skateboard levels. It's just got a lot more variation, and do you know what it is? They're just fun games. Spyro 3 in particular is really, really fun. Then got Battlefront and Fallen Order. Fallen Order was such a good game, and I've seen a few people bash it. I just disagree. I think it's it's the best Star Wars game I've played. I love the fighting mechanics. I love the whole, like, you know, it is kind of like Soulsborne with the temples and stuff. And I just really enjoyed the game. I thought it was just brilliant, and I can't really fault it, to be honest. Even Cal, Cal's a bit basic, the main character, but I like that as well. It, you know, gives you an opportunity to live through them, to play through them, and I would love to see Jedi Fallen Order 2. I really would hope to do that. But I don't know if they will now that this whole thing with Ubisoft coming in and taking Star Wars. I don't know how that's going to go, because they're apparently going to make an open world game. I would like to see an open world and bounty hunter game if they're going to make one. If they do it right. I think a bounty hunter game would be really cool, where you go to your ship, and rather than having a massive open world, maybe there's only, say, 6 to 7 planets. Each planet has, you know, maybe 1 or 2 cities you can visit. That's still quite a lot, to be fair. And you collect bounties, maybe do some space battles, have some combat, have some jetpack combat, have some good melee, some good cover-based combat. It could be really good if they deliver, which they're so hit and miss, Ubisoft. I just don't know how they'll handle it. Probably not the best, though, let's be honest. We then got Stormboy, a few Suicide Guys, Super Destronaut. These are all easy platinums. Tennis World Tour, not done. Oh, 0.87% ultra rare trophy. That's not bad. We then got both the Dark Pictures games. I have heard that both of them are very good. In fact, I've heard that both of them aren't very good. So I haven't played them, so I can't really comment too much. But I've just heard a bit meh. We then got Last of Us 2 done. No DLC, and Last of Us Remastered's not finished. That's a shame. Really great game. You know what? Yeah, there's multiplayer trophies, but I really like the multiplayer in this game. I think it's probably one of the best multiplayers I've played in a very, very long time. It's unique. It's a lot like, to be fair, it's a lot like Uncharted 4's multiplayer, which again is really, really good. We then got a few easier games in the form of Order 1886, Tower of Light, Walking Dead, The Wolf Among Us, World of Nublar. All these, yeah, they're all easy platinums, to be fair. Nothing really more to say on those. We've got a few MU games, and now we're coming to Uncharted, all 4 platinums. Now that is really good to see. That's your skill. You've done them all on Crushing. Now I don't think you've done any of the DLC, which is totally fair, because the DLC is like finish the speedruns and then do the game on Brutal, which is surprisingly very, very brutal. And you've got one. Well, you've got Uncharted, which I haven't got the first one, because when I played Uncharted 1, I wasn't sure if I was going to be a trophy hunter. I did it once on medium, and I went straight to Uncharted 2 and did that one on the hardest difficulty. And now I lost my save, so I have to go back. Probably do all the collectibles to get the guns, and when I get the guns I can then play it on the hardest difficulty, because on Crushing without the special guns, unlimited ammo and stuff, it is pretty brutal. Okay, we then got Lost Legacy as well, I should have said. Lost Legacy is actually probably my favourite one. Controversial, I know. I just loved it. I liked the story, it was nice and concise, and I just liked the open world element. I felt like everything that they did in Uncharted 4 was just so much more refined. It's probably on par with Uncharted 4 for being my favourite Uncharted game, that's right. I came in late to the series. I played Uncharted 1 in 2012. I then played Uncharted 1, 2, 3, 4 and Lost Legacy in about 18 months. And Golden Abyss, which is just terrible. Golden Abyss is the worst one by a long way. But then, to be honest, yeah, my favourite is probably Uncharted 4 and Lost Legacy tied for top. Finally, we've got Until Dawn, which is a first-party story-driven horror game, which I always wanted to play. It's on the PS Plus collection if you have a PS5, so you can play it for free at the moment. We then got Vampire and Wolfenstein: The New Order. Wolfenstein is a good game, but Vampire is quite a difficult platinum trophy to it. It's 11% rare, but you have to play 2 playthroughs. You have to play one game is a pacifist, not kill anybody, and you got to play one playthrough is like killing everybody. It's like 2 opposites, and it's meant to be quite difficult. And as well, if you play digitally, there's apparently a glitch you can do in the disc edition which will really help you with the game. But if you play it digitally, you can't do that because it's been patched. Okay, so what are my thoughts on this before we move on to the comparisons? You play the good. So Tibi Costa, you played a good mixture of games. I don't think you played any really particularly hard games, to be honest. other than maybe Red Dead Redemption 2, which you are so close to platinuming, but nothing's jumped out with extreme impressing me, to be honest. I think there's a lot of games that could be cleaned up, but it's the whole thing where it's like, if you don't want to clean up games, you know, don't feel like you have to. Don't feel like you have to go back to games just to finish them because some random dude on the internet's telling you to clean up your list. That is just ludicrous. Don't do that. Don't be that guy. Let's move on to our comparisons anyway, and we'll have a look at your list versus El Platinum Bros. Okay guys, so here we have our comparisons of Tebby Costi against El Platinum Bro, and we're seeing a few differences here. I've got more trophies per day. I've got 8 trophies per day. You've got 2.77. That's because I love to play those easy grubby games. I play a lot more easy grubby games than you, my friend. Your 92 plats versus my 388 platinums, and I have a higher completion rate. That doesn't mean your completion rate isn't high. Like I've said, 80% is pretty spot on. It's a good completion rate to have. It shows that you finish most of the games that you play, but sometimes you leave the rubbish ones, which I think is, again, it's the healthiest way to play. I've played a lot more games than you, dude, and I've got quite a higher rank than you in the world, but my country rank's not as good, so in terms of Romania, you're up there, dude. You could be probably reaching the top 10, probably, if you just did like 500 grubby games. If you just committed, you could be the top number 1. Okay, so let's move on to the Ultra Res to get a good opinion, good overview of those comparisons. So, looking at, I've got a lot more Very Rares and Ultra Rares, unfortunately. So we've got the same, I've got about double the rares to you, but I've got a lot more trophies, let's be honest. I've got so many common trophies at this point. But we've got the same amount of uncommons. It just shows how many terrible common games I actually play. But I do have 35 ultra rares compared to your 9 rares, and I have 101 very rares compared to your 22 rares. So I think if I get an understanding of your list, there's probably 15 to 20 really easy games. Then you've got pretty much the rest of the list is like AAA games which you've played and finished. There's nothing really jumping out at me other than that Amnesia collection, which I almost got it wrong there again. Amnesia collection, which was an ultra rare trophy, which is good to see. Obviously, your most ultra rare trophies are Red Dead Redemption 2, which I absolutely love to see because Red Dead 2 at this current time eluded me. Still haven't played it. I will platinum it at some point, but until that day, you've got one up on me, dude. You have. Do I think you are a better trophy hunter than El Platinum Bro? Dude, I don't think you are, man. I've got more ultra rares, more very rares, higher completion, more trophies per day. You know what? Like I've said, and when I did my video on what makes a great list all that time ago, total completion percentage is just a small part of it. Trophies per day doesn't even come into it. In my opinion, no, it's the ultra rare trophies, the amount of platinums, and completion combined. I've got more platinums, I've got a higher completion, I've got more ultra rares. So it is a better list. That doesn't mean you haven't got a great list. But if I'm going to score you out of 10, I think it's a solid 7 out of 10. I just don't think there's anything that really jumps out with extreme, really leaves its mark on me. Thinking back, if you had your Red Dead 2 Platinum, that could have easily bumped this list up to maybe a 7.5, maybe 7.6 or 7. But because of that you haven't got it, I'm a little bit upset about that. Well, I say upset, I use that term loosely. But yeah, there's nothing really difficult jumping out at me yet. Maybe work on maybe go and play a Dark Souls game, man. That would be impressive. I'm working on Bloodborne. It's definitely doable. If I can do it, you can do it. I haven't finished it yet though, so maybe I'm being a bit preemptive. But if you guys, dude, this is the thing. I say feedback. I recommend what games to play. But if you enjoy the way you're playing, don't listen to my feedback at all, because I just want people to watch my videos, to have a good time, maybe grind out some trophies while they listen to me ramble about utter garbage, and then don't feel like they have to change the way or who they are. You just keep doing you. But if I was to recommend a few games, I might recommend firstly some improvements. You can finish those Assassin's Creed games so easily. I really would recommend you to do your cleanup on The Last of Us Part 2, and as well try and clean up Last of Us Remastered. It's not that bad. The multiplayer is actually pretty fun, and if you really want a challenge, then maybe you could go and try and do the Uncharted 100% in those. But if you can't be bothered to finish off those games because they are all quite time commitments, I totally get that as well. Okay, alright Tibi, I'm going to give you some recommendations for games I think you might enjoy. I'm going to recommend Destroy Humans. It's a game I played this year, and the reason why I'm going to recommend that is because you play a lot of shorter games, like maybe 15 to 20 hours. Maybe you're like me, maybe you just don't have that much time. Destroy Humans is a really concise, fun, open world game which takes you about 20 hours maximum to platinum. Really good fun, light-hearted humour. It's just great. It's a really good game, and I think, looking at your list, I think it's a game you'd really enjoy. However, if that's not the case and you'd rather jump onto something maybe like a big RPG or something, in that case I recommend, of course, The Witcher 3. I will never not recommend that game. Or you could take a chance on a JRPG, maybe go for a Final Fantasy VII or a Dragon's Quest XI. What a game. Okay guys, and finally I'm going to present my Trophy Hunter Hall of Fame, and as you can see, here it is. So unfortunately Tibby, you didn't quite make it, so what is the criteria? I'm still working that out, but I think at the current time, if anybody scores an 8 out of 10 or higher, they make it onto the Trophy Hunter Hall of Fame. Yes, that's right guys, Duke Island is going to be crying real hard right now because he keeps missing out on that 8 out of 10, you know. He got like a 7.7 out of 10, and I think everybody agrees that it was higher than that.
So good.
So at some point, Duke, you will get on this list. But Tibby, no, just shy, maybe a few platinum trophies away. Maybe if you had that Last of Us Remastered Platinum, you had Red Dead 2, and maybe a couple more, you'd be an 8 out of 10. But not today. And as you can see, the Trophy Hunter list, here we have, there is but 7 of them on this list. We've got T-Pep 1985, Axel Limic, I'm just saying these names are probably spelled more wrong, Zoot, Dark Angel, The Harry Gamer, CBH, Lockheed Prime. And as you can see, T-Pep at 1985 has the little platinum award next to his name, which means at this current time of all trophy lists that I have reviewed, he has the best list. And that's all for this one guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.